Hi CMH friends, I am Ramona Williams, the Alexander Specialist for the Children's Museum Houston. I am so excited that you are here with me today. Thank you for joining me for this edition of the Early Childhood Corner, sponsored by Catherine G. McGovern and the McGovern Foundation. So today we're going to take a little journey around your home and find some things that we can turn into fun, learning, interactive activities for your toddler. Make sure you stay with me for the entirety of this video because I will give you some tips to take the fun to the next level, as well as wonder words to explore with your toddler and a book to read in the end. Okay, so here are the supplies that you will need for our Valentine's Day Oobleck, which is also known as slime. So we have tongues. I'm using some smaller tongues that will be easy for our toddlers to manipulate. Also cookie cutters, and these cookie cutters, as you can see, are in the shape of Valentines. Let's say we have some lips and an X and an O hearts. Also a measuring cup. Here I also have my water inside. A bowl that contains cornstarch. A bowl to mix our water and cornstarch together. An empty container that's somewhat flat, as well as food coloring. Now, the fork is not necessary, but I find that it gets kind of rough mixing the slime. So what I've done is I brought it out just for some extra reinforcement. Some conversational sweethearts, a measuring spoon that I'm really only using to stir with, and a cup. I also have here some napkins because let me tell you, it is going to get just a little bit messy. So now let's go ahead and start our mixing process. So I'm going to take my cornstarch. I've already measured out 2 cups and place them in my bowl. Uh-oh, watch the dust cloud. So I've placed them in my bowl. Before I add my water in, I'm going to color it with the food coloring. I want a pink color, so I'm going to do 2, maybe 3 drops of food coloring. Now I'm just going to stir that and see it turns into red. While you're doing this activity, include your toddler in. You can have them pour the cornstarch into the bowl. You could also have them pour the water in. Now, what I recommend that you do when you're starting the pour is to do a little bit at a time, because you will notice it will have somewhat of a solid consistency, but then it will also have somewhat of a liquid consistency. So we're pouring, we poured, and you notice, whoa, there's really not enough. So I'm going to go in for some more, okay? And I'm gonna go in for some more, and I'm going to stir. If it is too much of a problem, trust me, get your fingers in there and get to mixing. That's what I did with my last mixture. I just said, you know what? I'm going in, no gloves or anything. I just used my fingers. I got really messy and sticky. So as you see, it's starting to form. It doesn't take a lot of time. Let your toddler lean in and see what it looks like as it's being mixed up. Here we go. We are almost there. We are almost there. We are stirring and mixing. And I want to keep going until we feel like it is all mixed up. And I want you to notice I have a little bit of water left. It is okay if you have water left. I might want to pour just a little bit more in, okay? And finish mixing. And then after that, we will be all set to go. I'm going to stir. And then I want to show you using my hand how when you put it into a ball, it's a solid, and then when you let it go, it's almost like it is a liquid again. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of this. I'm gonna make a ball out of it, if I can. Oh, I think I may have added just a little too much water, but you can notice I can grab it, and when I let it go, look what happens. Okay? So have fun with your toddler. This is a great sensory activity. Remember I said it's gonna get messy, and yes, I just got real messy. So I'm gonna take a second and clean these hands. So I have cleaned my hands off. All it took was a little cool water and it came right off. I'm now going to take my container and pour my slime into it. Look, it pours out just like liquid. Your toddler will be amazed when they see this oobleck going into the container just like this. And you want to pour until it is all out. Isn't that pretty? Also remind your toddler while you're doing this, you don't necessarily want to eat this. This is something more for a fun activity. And now I'm bringing in my cookie cutters and I will add them to my container. So however you want to add them in there, just place them inside, or better yet, have your toddler place them inside. Look, doesn't it look like a solid? And then, oh my gosh, I really want to be like a kid again right now and have a whole bunch of fun and just go for it myself. Now, here are our hearts. This is what I would recommend because of course your toddler might want to eat some of the hearts. We want them to absolutely be safe. You may want to put some to the side so that they can eat after they have finished playing their activity and letting them know the activity hearts that we put inside of the container, we won't eat those, but we will have some on the side right when we finish. And now I have brought in my hearts and my tongues that my toddler will be able to use. I think I want to put them out on the table because guess what I'm going to do? Use this as an opportunity to talk, okay, to my toddler about the colors that I have. I could talk about the numbers that I'm putting out. If I'm using the conversational hearts, I can talk about what is on the heart, okay? So here, I think this one says hug me. And oh, let me also say, this says I love you. Oh my gosh, a perfect time to express your love for your toddler, especially during these times. To say, you know what, I love you so much and I'm loving having this opportunity to interact with you while we do this activity. And so here is the trick. It's super simple. Hand-eye coordination, fine motor skills. Your toddler will simply take their heart and place it in any of the cookie cutters and they will watch it sink. Now, ask them, do you think it's going to go all the way to the bottom? Do you think it will disappear? You can also have a conversation about the color that you're using, okay? And just let them have fun. And here's the trick. I promise you they will want to put them in as well as take them back out. And here you get to see it go from a solid to liquid. And they could take it back out and put it back on the table. Tons of fun to be had. So here is a tip. You can use this as well for counting. So what you can do is trace the cookie cutter on a piece of paper and put a number inside of that cookie cutter shape. And then the same cookie cutter that is inside of our oobleck, have your toddler match the number inside of the slime. How about that? Okay, so here are some wonder words to explore with your toddler. I want to remind you, have your conversation be organic so you can actually include any words you want to, but think about slime, oobleck, also mixture, and solid and liquid. And the book that I'm going to challenge you to read with your toddler is Sticky, Sticky, Sticky by Mike Gooch. Okay, friends, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this activity. Remember, stay connected with us through the museum's all-time access. And if you're watching this, let's say via YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. I am Ramona Williams, and I hope you will join me for our next activity. But until then, that's all the time we have for today. Bye-bye.